Hey, so first of all, thanks for clicking through to the video. We all hate getting cold emails. I don't like getting them myself. I've sent some to you before from my other email account. Just if you don't recall who I am, my name's Kevin. I used to have a picture framing shop where I did G-Clay printing and art reproductions and a few other things associated with picture framing, such as like an art gallery attached to it and that sort of thing. Now I no longer have a picture framing shop. I help picture frame shop owners, specifically across the US and Canada. Almost all of my clients are in the US. I only have a few in Canada. So from the East Coast to the West Coast, large centers, small cities in between, single owner operators, all the way to multi-location frame shops with lots of staff. So what I do is help shops such as that get more business in the door through the website and online sources. And I'm not talking about selling framing online, although I do that too. When I say that, most shops don't sell online. Some do, most don't currently. So I really focus on getting walk-in traffic generated through online sources. So I also can help with e-commerce for those doing e-commerce. I know how to conversion optimize that for sales. So it starts with a website, basically. I have become quite proficient at generating leads through websites. And when I say that, what I mean by that is generating leads in the context of getting people in the door to buy stuff. So a little bit about my history here, if you don't recall. My frame shop, when I started my framing and printing shop, I started in a 2-bedroom apartment and I had my printer in the spare room, and I grew that and moved into a garage, into a townhome eventually. And then from there, I moved into a commercial location and then outgrew that and then moved into another commercial location. Those commercial locations where we're not on Main Street, so I didn't have the privilege of having a lot of drive-by traffic to see signage and that sort of thing. I was completely reliant and thrown into the deep end of learning how to generate leads and walk-in traffic to my shop through them finding me on Google and then converting on the website. So the websites in the industry, some people have very modern, updated websites. Some people have very, very old, outdated websites. And I see certain trends in the area because I focus specifically within the industry. All my accounts I kind of take together and I use the data to further refine and keep refining the system and keep refining it and refining it. And I find stuff that works, and I find that stuff that works is common between all the accounts. Then I take that and I implement it into the system. Stuff that doesn't work, I kind of put off to the side. So I'm constantly testing and refining and using data across all the accounts that helps the process and the system, and I keep integrating that stuff. So it's a constant iteration. What I've been seeing over the years of doing this is that certain things work and certain things simply do not work, and I focus on the things that do work. As such, my offers are always guaranteed. I only take on clients where I know for a fact that I can help increase sales through the website and through the Google My Business listing. So I take existing websites and I refine them for conversion optimization. If it's an old site and it's not converting well, I take it and I rebuild the website. And I have all this back-end stuff that integrates into websites to help that process along. I won't get into that because it gets very, very confusing. Some people need it, some people don't. So it's based on what your needs are. But the key focus being, I know how to create a website following certain standards and a certain layout and a certain structure that's proven to convert website visitors into more traffic. So, on average, for what I see for Frame Shop, this isn't going to be the case for everybody because it's going to be all over the map. But what I see on averages of people coming in to have their websites done through me is when they have outdated websites that are several years old or more that aren't following standards. I take the template, apply it, and most of the frame shops are coming in with conversion rates at about 0.8%. What that means is out of every 100 website visitors, less than one person is actually outreaching through a form or a contact form or placing a call through the website. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that number and I'm increasing it. So in cases of shops coming in at a 0.8% conversion rate, to get one sale out of that, or to get one outreach out of that or sale, it's taking like 200 website visitors on average. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that number and I'm jacking it up to like 10 to 15% instead of 0.8%. Now, some accounts, of course, there's anomalies. Everyone's different. So in some cases, I have shops coming in with like 5% conversion rates, or it's very rarely more than 5%. In those cases, I'm getting it up to like 15 or 20%. So for an example, if one sale is generated per 100 website visitors and an average invoice of $350, and we jack that up to 10 out of every 100 visitors, well, that's $3,500 instead of $350. It's just basic math at this point. So those numbers are going to be very specific to the business, but I take the website sort of as a baseline, and then I implement tools and back-end processes and automations into the website to increase conversion rates. I won't get into the best practices and that stuff. It'll just be too long. Maybe I'll do a separate video series to kind of help with that a little bit and more in depth with it. But key point being, it all starts with a website. It all starts with converting the traffic to the website into outreach and then into sales. So I help with sales processes and all that stuff. And it's all tied and centralized into the website. So it's kind of like the central base, right? So on accounts where somebody already has a really good website set up that we don't need to do anything to, that's already pretty good. There's a few, I don't see a lot of them, but for the ones that I do see, we're still implementing the tools and the back-end processes to help get more outreach and sales through that website, because there's a lot of tools and standards that simply are proven to work with data, and so that's kind of what I do is work with that. We can also get into all sorts of other stuff, love it or hate it, but it is the future. Some people hate it, some people want to experiment with it. One of them is AI, so artificial intelligence. We can set up your website so that it's basically future-proof. If you're not kind of wanting to use it now, even though it is ready to use now, it could be set up so it could be used in the future. So we're future-proofing your website and putting everything in place to support your marketing, and we can automate a lot of the marketing and the entire sales process. We can automate on the back end and all sorts of other stuff there. But basically, it all starts with a website. I've been making them for I'm 48 now. I started making websites when I was 19 years old, so quite some time, and that's kind of how I was able to create the website for my picture framing shop. And then, so in addition to converting website traffic, we could also put more traffic into the system to get conversion rates even further. So now we're looking at like search engine optimization and stuff. All of the websites I make have a structure in place and are structured in such a way that it expands on SEO. We're looking at like 10 pages plus. So those single like brochure websites where it's like one page with just a little bit of information, those things don't convert very well at all. I have a standardized, proven structure to websites that expand on SEO and pick up all the niche terms that people are looking for. Actually looking for like customers that have not heard of, haven't had framing done before, so aren't familiar with all the lingo. So I have a list of all the words that they look for as far as coming into frame shops and whatnot. We're seeing a younger base as well. Some frame shops out there are very old school in that they think that only older people get custom framing done and that sort of thing, and it really depends on the marketing and everything else. But I am seeing a lot of like late 20s and people in their 30s and 40s buying a lot of custom framing online, but they expect certain things to be in place, and there's certain things they look for, and there's certain standards that need to be met for that to happen. So to get into the site of websites, that's where it all starts. We have a host of automation and phone systems we could connect to it, and marketing that can be automated. We could take care of your entire Google review generation process linked to the website so that it's completely automated and follows all the standards and best proven practices for that. So I have an offer for you today, and that is I am moving to a new home in a week and a half. So I am taking on an extra client this month. Typically, I max out at 2 clients per month because I really like to focus and get the sales processes and all sorts of support in on the back end and development. So typically I cap out at 2 clients per month that I'll take on. Right now I'm taking on a couple other ones, and the pricing you see on my website is going to be different than this offer. This offer is not going to be live on the website, and that is a new one with all the back-end processes in place for $2,990 flat one-time fee, and then a baseline of $97 per month to manage it. And it future-proofs your business and allows for the opportunity to have future functionality in there that's already ready to go on separate plans and stuff. We can get into that if you want to hop on a call. I don't make this offer available. Like, I'm not going to offer a link to click and purchase anything because I like to talk to the business owner before taking on a project, because I'm specific with clients I take on. I got to be careful because I have a reputation to uphold. I'm not going to make false promises to somebody that I know a system's not going to work for. I only take on clients who I know for a fact I can help, and also have to make sure it's a good fit for delivery and everything else like that. So yeah, shoot me a reply. I'll link to my website in here. Again, you're going to see a pricing page on my website, and it's going to be $6,900 for setup and integration fee, and a $990 per month maintenance fee for the entire Flow 5 system. Whereas this offer is for the website specifically and some more baseline stuff that we could get into further. So that rate was $2,990 and then $97 per month starting. And that allows for a whole host of automations and everything else. That is a structured website that expands on your current one. This proven structure that I have for SEO, it has all the baseline SEO foundational stuff baked into the site already. And yeah, let me know if it's interested. If you need any other marketing help, like social media marketing or Google advertising or anything like that, we should chat, because I don't do any of that stuff. I'd be happy to advise on it. As far as Google advertising and stuff, I wouldn't recommend doing that unless your website's already converting. So the website's sort of the baseline standard for everything else to happen. If you're going to run Google advertising or Facebook advertising or do social media marketing or anything like that, anything that directs traffic back to the website, that website has to be not leaking. It has to be optimized to turn it all into business, because what I see quite often is that that is the missing piece, and people wonder why their ads aren't working and everything else that I talk to. And it always comes back to the website and the conversion mechanisms that are or are not there. So yeah, anyways, hopefully I could be of some help to you. Let me know. I have one spot. Today is June. I'm making this video on Friday, June 13th. So one slot. I can't do anything this month for June, but I have one slot for August for this offer, and then it's back to 2 client cap per month at the full rate. So yeah, let me know if interested. If not, no hard feelings, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.